All right, it's the next day. I got it running, took the tyre off, went and got it pumped up, and it's all back together, kind of back together again now. I mean, it's, yeah, I did drive it around. May have an oil leak, but not much. Turns out I can't use that new intake of mine because I don't know if you can see this. It's friggin' nutted. It's bent and kind of broken. So I don't know if I can use that. Someone give me because the rest of it's freaking bent. It's just that won't sit on the what's her name? Unless I jimmy. Put down in the comments anyone that's jimmied that to actually fit, because that seems to be a common problem on these things. Once they've taken it off, you can't get underneath the throttle body, underneath the arm, to actually put that on properly, and it always catches and jams up, and it's always like that. So that's a bit of a bummer. Two, the what's happened is, because this sat at my place for so long, someone's actually stolen the cat converter out of it. And where that muffler finishes just down there, as you can see just there, that's hacksaw. Someone's actually hacksawed the bloody cat off. So I've got a full exhaust, but someone's hacksawed the cat off. So if I've got the downpipe between the header and the first muffler, that's a separate piece. If I replace that, then I'll be right. The actual muffler's pretty crappy as well. Looks like it's burnt through. But as long as I've got a full exhaust, that's not as loud. I'm now trying to pull the interior apart, because even though rubber floor mats are great, not so much when you have leaking, because once these start to shrink a bit, they let all the water in, and that just fills up water and becomes a pond like you saw in before. So I'm just going to take all the carpet out. I mean, it'd be nice to keep it, but if it fills up for water, there's no point. So I'm trying to get all the seats out and the console and all that shit, trying to pull all that out. So, but we'll finish that for another video. It does run. It goes alright. It's still single pegger. So, I mean, nothing I can really do. Nothing I can really do about that. And I fixed my bike up too. Did I show you my bike? I didn't show you my bike. I went on the auctions and bought myself a little bike. It's only a little 250 Suzuki Marauder. It's been dropped. It needed a new. When it dropped, this bent, which snapped this. So I replaced that. I've got a new one of these as well. And what else did I need? Oh, new handles. Both sides have been replaced. And I bought indicators, but the indicators must be for a different model, because these are bolted to the frame here, whereas the other ones seem to go around there. And it's just, so I just glued it back in, and hopefully they'll work. I actually glued the back one as well, because that was torn. This rubber was torn, and this is hanging down, not snapped off. So I've glued it back up. Oh, it's still not the best, is it? I might need actual glue instead of silicone. But yeah, that was what, $537 at the auction. No key, so there's another $300. Another $200 for all the bits and pieces to make it work, like 40, 50, 60 bucks for the controls and that piece and then that piece. And but yeah, she runs great. No smoke, no anything. It runs real good. So I'm hopefully get that through Rego, because it's got no Rego. Pass that through, needs a bit of a clean up, and that'll be my little scoot to go around to work and back. I'll look silly on it because I'm too big for the bike this small, but it is what it is. But that's not too bad. It's done, what is it, 47,000 Ks. But everything else is actually in good nick. I mean, the seats aren't ripped or anything else. The tank has got a dent in it, but it's just I don't care. It's not that rusty. A little bit on the idiot lights there. Everything else is in good nick. So, and it's got a LED conversion light, which is on all the time. Anyway, enough of that. So I'm going to call it quits for this video. This is well, it's running, so that's enough. I can now do stuff to it. So next video, maybe, if I could be bothered, is me ripping the interior out to make it. It's an autocross car, because it's a manual rear-wheel drive autocross. I used to have the Hyundai XL years ago, and I figured this was cheap, so I had to get the keys cut for this too. There's another $300 because it didn't come with any. So not cheap, but while I can get it done, so, and as it now, it's up and running. strip the interior out, rip out those carpets, and get it ready for autocross. So that's the thing with this thing, it's going to be autocross. So get some matching rims, get some mud tyres on it, see how we go. So that will do, and then I can get stuck in all the other projects because this is at work. So luckily they let me allow me to have me here. So I got my XHX cop panel van. I let the rego run out, but then the engine died. So got to get the engine. I've got an engine for it. I just got to get it and swap it over. But since it's been here, the rust is starting to come up on there and on the back. That guard's already shot, but it drove great and was actually a good car. But where's that rust there? Other than that, it's not too bad. It's fairly straight actually. But yeah, got to fix that. I got a Lexus here. It needs just a set of bearings. We'll just throw the bearings in the bottom end. See how that goes. The Dodge is sitting under there. What else? The V-dub's up at the shop. My van at the back there, my courier van. I'll be driving that around because it's not here, it's around the other side. The Camry is getting given to a friend of mine to use for a while, so they won't need the Camry, so I'll either have the bike or the van. Anyway, enough gibbering. Alright, part 2 of this ugly beast. So part 1 was me just trying to get the thing running, putting the fuel pump in. Still the same day. And the next thing was stripping it out and getting the interior out so I could at least clean it up and whatever. And we've done it. Actually, I just had Sean, my de facto so-called son, and we've ripped out the seat, ripped out the floor mats. There's a lot of glass because this window was broken, hence I'll put that glass in. So there's a lot of broken glass, which I've found out. What a bugger that floor mat is. And one of the reasons why it's held water is on the driver's side, you have this big piece of foam. I don't know what it is, but it is chunky and it's fairly solid. There's no drain plugs in that. And there's no drain plugs in the car. You have to actually cut them out because the sealant they use, which is quite chunky when you look at it, that's quite chunky. Sound deadening, I guess you'd call it. Well, you would call it sound deadening. And your where did I throw it? Your floor plates are actually hidden under it. They're put in, and then the sound deadening is put over the top. So there's one there, and there's one in the back. I think there's another one there. But yeah, you have to chip away and actually break the stuff off to get down to it, and then you pull out your plugs, which are only 2 little things. So we've gone through and done that. So now there's no water in it. So the seats are out. They're so-so. And saying it's the same day and we haven't done anything else, but that's a floor mat. Quite a big piece. It's quite complex. If anyone wants one, I don't think I'm ever going to put it back in. Now the other thing is, where the seats were, you've got these little risers. Now, I don't know if I need to pop these out because they are pressed in. If I need them in it, because I mean it has the bolts, so I don't know if I need to put them back on it to do anything. We've got the console out. Turns out, just in case anyone doesn't know, you got 2 bolts in there and 2 bolts there. They bolt to the top of the shifter linkage, so the 2 there and 2 there, so they bolt to that. Then if you don't look or you haven't seen it, there's these 2 little lips on the back, 8mm bolts. You don't need to take this rear cover off. I did because I thought there was bolts in there. So I might how's that fit back in there? Might screw that back on. But yeah, it's these 2 little 8mm on either side, and these bolts are also 8mm to get those out. So that slipped out. That seat is pretty gangrene, actually. It's pretty nasty. So I'll leave it outside. And I found a set of jumper cables underneath, so yay! So, put the console back in. Or, no, not yet. It's getting late in the day. I'll put the driver's seat in and just rest this in there because I've still got to actually vacuum it out. There's no power at the back of the place here. Vacuum all the crap up, all the glass. and just make it tidy again, because it is painted body colour, so it's not too bad looking. It's not raw metal, it's body colour. So clean all that up, give it a wash, so it's all nice and neat. I'll leave that fabric in the back there, because why not? There she is. Someone set off one of the little remote alarms. So there we go. Oh, and Sean also dropped me off a set of Lukey exhaust extractors, a cat or muffler delete pipe. Now this is to fit a BA though, so I don't know if it'll actually fit. I might have to wiggle it around. I'm not going to be too fussed because it's got that many cuts in it. And also a nice shiny Lukey exhaust. Sport. It even says sport. There we go. I don't know anyone's into the numbers and there. They might be able to tell me what exactly that is. But it's a little bit rusty because it has been sitting around outside. But brand new muffler. It's been sitting, well, not brand new, but really good exhaust. So I'm thinking eventually when I go to, once I get all this cleaned up and the interior looking good and it's running, I'll have to pull it off to take the exhaust off to get the LPG tank out, because that's just under here. And the exhaust is right under it, so I'll have to pull the exhaust off to get the tank out. When I do that, I'll redo the whole exhaust and maybe have it come out the side here, or maybe there. I don't know, one of the two. And oh, you might have seen it on the inside. I was looking at this and I thought, oh, I've got no tail lights. Oh, this is a shame. It needs. I have to buy some bodgy ones. Well, after pulling all this crap out, there's the tail lights in the back, and $2. Woo! So bonus, it has tail lights. So all up, not a bad little afternoon's work. Don't know what else I'm going to do. I'll probably show you once it's all done, how clean the interior is and whatnot. Once everything's back in, I'll have to give these seats a wash and see how we go. See if they come up any better. I'm not really worried about it because they're only seats just for drivers. It's autocross, so they're going to get dirty on anything. And anyway, so, but that's it. The car is, I've done a fair bit, considering I haven't done nothing to this for years. None of my cars, since I came out of hospital, I've been getting into stuff. The V-dub's up, getting worked. Fixed the bike, the little shitty bike. Got that work and got this up and actually up and running. So I'm quite pleased with myself. So, I mean, I've still got, Sean did say he had a hard cover, the tonneau cover, the hard lift up one with a spoiler on the back. Not sure, what do you think? Should I put the spoiler, the hard cover on the back? I mean, this is motocross. You reckon it'll look okay with a hard cover on the back? I don't know. Because it's either that or I've got some roll cages and, not roll cages, but the cheap sports bar. They came off, I think, BA Falcon. I could put that on, because that's the original one there. Put the sports bar on instead. So, yeah. I don't know. As I say, it's just the cheapest thing around. It's only going to be bush bashed, so we'll see. But we'll leave it for there to this bit. But I'm quite happy. All that's out. That's brilliant. Quite happy with that. Anyway, we'll see what else I do. All right. Another weekend. Another time to get stuck into this. So, interior, I think I said. We're going to do the interior, and as you can see, she is stripped. And she is covered in all sorts of crap. All that's out now. So that's quite good. We'll put that back together eventually. That's manky, so I might have to wash that. Some of the hard stuff that came out of the inside I've thrown down there. A little shop vac. But most of the thing is all this glass. It's a bit dull, bright, dark in here. All the glass. This obviously had a busted window at one stage. There's glass everywhere in here, and I cut myself last weekend, so it just needs a good clean out. So we're going to do that. I might wash it as well, but I don't have any stuff to wash it with, but I could use this truck wash. Anyway, let us get into it. Alright, bit of a problem. Fuel pump comes on. Here, we put some fuel in it because I thought it might be out of fuel. It's not. But listen to this. Nothing. That's it. Well, I vacuumed it up. Not that you could tell. Now it won't even freaking start. So I'm buggered. Alright, so next weekend, car wouldn't start after getting it pushed in to clean it out. So we're thinking fuel filter, because why not? If it's the only thing that I can think of that would stop it from starting at the moment, amongst other things. So I've got a brand new fuel filter. So we're going to pull that off. Hopefully that's all it is, and it's not something else. So there it is. It's probably been there for a long time. I've just squirted it. So yeah, it's what can I do? Stupid car. So I'll change that out, and hopefully it'll get running again, and then I can actually finish cleaning the car. But who knows? Who knows? Stupid thing. All right, let's see how we do. All right, well, it's dribbles out one end, dribbles out the other end. That's not blocked. That's not blocked at all. Ooh, that's probably fine. Damn it, that means it's something else. Great. All right, new fuel filter is in. Let's see if the fuel filter was the problem. So it was the fuel filter after all that. Even though when I took it out, as you saw before, the fuel was pouring out of each end. Free flow, but under pressure, obviously it was just... So, my boss is here doing his truck as well. Yeah, so it's fine. So let's go and get this cleaned up and fixed up and see what else we can do. All right, so while we're playing with cars and stuff, the boss is doing the rear brakes, the drum brakes on this truck. Now we've already done the front, and as you can see on the front, the stress fractures, I think hopefully you can see that, all the stress fractures in the actual drum. Now the brakes themselves, well broken, are almost down to the rivets. So that's bad. Now he's taken off the rear. The rears have friggin' ridges in them. That's gouged in.
Down to the rivets, mate.
Down to the rivets, because we looked at the brakes. It's fucking past the rivets. Literally gone through the rivets. Now, there's what's left of the thing, and that's just to hold the rivets on, so you're not using that like you would a car, which you're bonded on, because there's a rivet on Ben trucks. So you can't say, oh, I've got meat left. No, that's the rivets. This has worn through the rivets, and I think you can pretty much see where the high points are, where the rivets are, and the rest of it's worn away. And these rivets have literally ground through the other one. There's the meat on a brand new one. So you can see the difference between the old one, which is absolutely past the rivets, and the new one, which is chunky as.
Chunky as, bro.
Chunky as, bro. But that is just because the guy, the driver said, "Oh, the brakes aren't stopping." Get out of the light. And he said, "Well, there's why. It's literally past the rivets. The front one was down to the rivets. This is past it. It's literally, look. God damn. Where's the camera? There. It's literally dust. So, check your brakes, people. Fix your freaking brakes. Even on trucks, cars, whatever.
I did do me brakes.
You did. You're doing it now. Luckily, apart from just buying pads, he's also bought new drums. Not cheap, but he figured them on as well. So, just as well, he bought these because
the other ones are full.
the other ones are fucked. Actually gouged into it. So don't fuck around with your brakes, people. Replace them, whether they're cars, trucks, bikes, whatever. Yeah, fix them because that could be very costly if it wasn't for yeah, if anything went wrong. Although it's kind of screwed now because that's $1,500 worth of brakes, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he has to do it himself because he couldn't get the mechanic to come and do it on time. So damn. So yeah, fix your cars, people, and trucks. If you feel that it's like, you know, it's working, there's a reason why. Anyway, let's go wash the inside of the Falcon out. Right, that looks pretty. That is clean, degreased. I even had some brake clean and sprayed it all over because there's all kind of grease and stuff stuck under here and crap around there, which is all gone. Lots of fluff sitting inside there. And the same on this side, there's just grease and just built up dirt and muck and stuff. Where do those papers come from? So that's all clean now, so put the seats and everything back in. I'm really happy with that. That's come up a treat. That looks brilliant. It's better than the outside. This is why I didn't want any carpet in there, because that is just fine as it is. Obviously over time it'll get covered in muck and stuff, but that is brilliant. Oh yeah, and there we go. Finished. Seats are in, console's in, glove box is back in. I don't know why we took that anyway. Drive seats in. I've even found the surround for the console, the steering column, but I don't have the screws. But that is it. I mean, obviously, a few things missing. I've got to find screws for that. I don't know how they screw in because I don't have the screws. And I've got to fit the door, but I might have a new door anyway. But that is it. Interior is back together again. Which means I can sit in. And it's good. Everything is kind of back where it should. So, I'm happy. So, that'll do it for this vid. Interior was cleaned. The seats and everything and console, everything's put back in, so it's now drivable. It starts. I'm happy. So that'll do it for this this vid, peoples. I hope you enjoyed it, and give us a like and whatever else. Share it to all your AU mates. If you've got any spare parts, like the screws to hold this in, because I've got screws, but I don't think they're the right ones. But everything else is where it should be, so I think I've done pretty well. So that'll do it. And I don't know what I'm going to do with the next one. I might be fix one of the bikes. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, I'll figure out something. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on stupid AU shit that I shouldn't be touching.
Bye.
Bye.